12 years after the major success of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Tobe Hooper decided to return to the big screen with its sequel. And seeing as how he wasn't sure if it could top the raw terror of the original, he decided to make it a horror comedy. Let's hope this works.
Welcome to the horror show. You realize there is nowhere to run. No game to fight. Paranoia is running your life. Welcome to the horror show. You realize there is nowhere to run. No game to fight. Obsessions ruling your mind.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's 1986. People are up and about watching horror films in the theaters. I mean, Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives, The Fly remake, Aliens, Poltergeist 2, Critters, Psycho 3, and even the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 were all majorly anticipated movies coming up. So when people in 1986 went to see these films and more, they didn't expect what the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 gave. Now, this wasn't really a strong horror comedy, kind of like Evil Dead 2. It still had a dark tone to it, but so did Evil Dead 2, but this one was more darker in my opinion. This movie, dare I say it, was much more twisted and messed up than the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre ever was. Now, before you turn this review off out of anger, let me explain why I think this. The original, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was, yes, very disturbing. We had the dinner scene, we had every death being disturbing, we even had that human skeleton or chicken bone statue of whatever the hell it was. That was disturbing as hell as well. But the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was constantly disturbing. We had everything from the dirty ways they talked to the fact that they served people, dead people. That was enough to send shivers down my spine. And we had much more disturbing things throughout the whole entire movie. And I think it was just the tone made it more disturbing as well. And very messed up. Let's just say there's a lot more gore in this installment than in the first installment. I mean, we get people's faces carved off, a head sawed in half horizontally, a chainsaw impalement, some guts, greasy dead bodies, a brutally bloody hammer to the head scene, and more. Let me check off the list. Yep, definitely a lot more gory than the first one. But if you look past the awesome horror comedy aspect, the gruesome bloody violence, and the overall macabre tone of the flick, you can see that it's just trying too hard to be better than the original. And one of the most major questions of them all is the fact that, is this a good connection to the original? Let's just say the only connection I found with this one and the original was that, well, the plot centers around the cop, right? And the cop's looking for his two nephews or something. And he finds Franklin in his wheelchair holding the flashlight after he was killed in the first one. He's a skeleton now. So I find that like to be the only connection to the first one. And everything else is just, oh, we'll throw that in, we'll throw that in. And a flaw I found with the sequel is that after Franklin was killed in the first one, he had dropped his flashlight. But in the sequel, his skeleton's holding the flashlight. So I'm not sure if Leatherface has some OCD problems, but it's a little weird. Overall, I give the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 a 4 out of 5. It's a kick-ass sequel to a badass first movie, even if Leatherface had a crush in this movie. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below, and to leave comments and subscribe.